bought this house, there it is. It had no siding on it, no soffit, no gutters, no nothing. Nothing on the inside. It was down to the studs, like literally down to the studs. I made some mistakes on this house when I bought it. It had brand new HVAC system in it. 3 ducted split unit HVAC systems, which I've never really seen before. But I was told, oh yeah, they'll be fine. They're gonna be good. So I was like, all right. So I bid out like $2,000, to finish it up. It was all pretty much all hooked up, but needed a little bit work here and there. Once I got involved, I was like, who's buying a $350,000 home with these units in it that I'm gonna have to explain to them why they're okay? Nobody's gonna understand that. Like, that might be a deal killer. So I ripped them all out, redid the ductwork, put a brand new normal HVAC system up, 2 of them, one upstairs, one downstairs. So that ended up costing me almost $20,000 I wasn't expecting to spend right off the bat. And then the siding, I underbid what that was going to cost me by like $3,000 or $4,000. So I walked in his house like $17,000 to $20,000, like before we started any work, pulled any permits, already behind the 8 ball. I was like, holy cow, this is going to be bad. And I paid more than what I wanted to for it. So I'm a little nervous about this house, but it's really turning out to be a pretty home. So hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a complete nightmare for me. You guys have been following me on my sports card journey. We're kind of doing everything. We got a huge eBay store going on. But what got me into it is, obviously I used to collect cards like most guys did. Cars have gotten expensive. I mean, getting into it was not like when I was a kid. It's almost unattainable for most families. If you have a kid that you want to get him into some sports cards, instead of going and buying a pack of cards that you pay $12, $15, $20 for, you can Instagram message me and tell me what his favorite team is, some of his favorite players. I might be able to send you, 9, 18, 25 cards of his team that he likes, with making sure I get a couple of his players in it that he enjoys for probably less than what you're going to buy that pack for. So I have thousands of cards. Most of my cards just sit in a safe. But I give away, like I said, a lot of stuff. So if you need some help getting involved in it, if you need, reach out to me. If you got, young kids that you want to get some sports cards, you got a son or daughter that's, into whatever, just message me. I'll try to do what I can to help you out. All right. So we're coming into spring, spring's already here, but we got our bad weather going to be coming up the next 3 to probably 6 weeks. High winds, tornadoes, all the good stuff that happens here in the southern Indiana, Kentucky area. If you get high winds, the next morning you need to go out and look at your roof. You don't have to get up on it. If you start seeing raised shingles, buckling, things like that, you need to get somebody out there to take a look at it. You probably want to call somebody like Upright Construction before you call your insurance. If you're not seeing any inside damage, you don't want to get a claim on your policy without needing one, because sometimes we can repair it for really not much cost comparable of getting a claim and then finding out that it's not going to end up being an actual claim, because claims 0 still is considered a claim. So the things we're going to go up and look for to see if you have high wind shingles that are laying flat still but are loose, things like that, damaged shingles. A lot of times on these big heavy rains we get hail, and you might not even realize we have hail that happened during the storm. We want to check for hail damage, things like that. Our objective is hopefully not to have a claim, not to have a new roof, doing some repairs as needed to save that roof for prolong longevity of the house, obviously. Roof is the most important part of protecting your home. It's what's going to end up, if you let it prolong, if you let some damages happen, you get small leaks in your attic, you get mold, ruins your insulation, things like that you don't want to have any part of. So getting a contractor up there to take a look at it, get a professional, somebody that's well reviewed in your community, check your Google reviews, check
you know, realtors, adjusters, agents, ask around. You know, they'll give you a reputable company. There's a lot of good ones out there. Upright Construction, you know, obviously we have great reviews, but there's other ones that you can call to come out and take a look at it. It's really important, especially these time of year. So if you see some like water spots on your ceiling, that's a direct, you know, indication you got some kind of small leak. You want to get those taken care of before they turn into big problems. That's going to cost a lot of money, and a lot of money, even if you have insurance, is still going to be a claim. You don't want your insurance premiums to go up, so we're going to do everything we can. If you want your roof done right, you want it done by Upright. Get it done the Upright way.